beautiful people out here. Thank you so much for coming, everybody, and thank you all for being up here fighting for what's right. We need to cancel student debt now. Education is meant to be a pathway to a brighter future, a means to expand viewpoints and unlock opportunities. However, for far too many students, this bright promise is dimming. The crippling burden of $1.78 trillion in student loan debt is an anchor on the American economy, but moreover, student debt is shackles to the ankles of Black borrowers, the population holding the largest debt burden and the population most negatively affected by student loans. We had hoped that the Supreme Court would recognize the urgency and importance of providing relief to those burdened by what many Black borrowers refer to as Jim Crow student loan system. But this court failed to uphold President Biden's necessary debt relief plan. This decision is not only disappointing, but a major setback in justice, fairness, and equality, the pillars of American democracy. To add insult to injury, this decision comes on the heels of the same court upending affirmative action in college admissions. Despite what some may believe, racial injustice and systemic racism still play a large role in American society. Black men and Black women bear the brunt of it. This misguided Supreme Court decision will hit Black borrowers particularly hard due to the widening wealth gap, persistent racial disparities in salaries and income, and other factors forcing Blacks to borrow more and increasing the struggles of repayment. This, coupled with the student debt payment pause ending, will likely result in default for many Black borrowers. We must call on our elected officials, nationally and locally, our education institutions, and public and private sector leaders to work together to address college affordability. We must increase the Pell Grant. We need to expand repayment options and ensure repayment counseling and services meet the needs of borrowers. The root causes of student debt must be addressed if we are to address and remedy the skyrocketing cost of higher ed. This includes investing in financial aid programs, expanding scholarship and grant opportunities, and advocating for legislation that caps tuition and fees, reducing the burden of student loans for future generations. Moreover, we must continue to push forward in advancing policies for immediate and substantial debt relief. Debt cancellation would not only provide economic relief to countless families and particularly remedy constraints for Black families in housing, starting families, or even buying cars. Student debt relief will also foster holistic economic growth and social progress. Together, we can build a future where education is a right and not a privilege. And together, we can make sure the brilliance of all individuals, regardless of background, can shine. Despite the Supreme Court's disappointing decision, we will continue to advocate for other equity-centered ways to cancel federal student debt. The progress of communities of color and low-income communities depend on it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody.